Some people says that implementing an ERP is difficult, but tell you frankly, when you talk about implementing an ERP with human, the human part might be a tricky one because getting everyone on the same page and also understanding the connection between people, process, and application. And finally, the last puzzle is the technology. So when you try to have the connection between the people and also the process and also the finally the application part, what the business units are using, and there comes the technology part where they want to have the proper alignment of a ERP transformation. So if you really want to talk about how an ERP can be thoroughly investigated and also properly delivered, you need to understand the conflicting requirement between the technology. I would say the conflicting requirement between the technology, that means the IT, and also the business stakeholder. And sometimes they have the clarity, like they have the lack of clarity between the stakeholders, because sometimes some business stakeholders might also try to understand what is it they are trying to do, what will benefit us. So having that understanding or having that clarity between the kind of like IT or the technology team onto the business stakeholder side is very important. And that is what we talk about, the kind of like bringing everybody on the same page. Like if one of the company is trying to implement an ERP, so the difficult task to me, to my understanding, is difficult part is the human part. That means taking everybody on board onto the same page and also aligning everybody on the same page and giving the proper understanding on especially on the connection between the process, and also you talk about the application, and also you can talk about the connectivity between the technology and the people. And there actually the problem begin with the conflicting requirement from the IT or maybe the technology, and also from the business stakeholder side. And there actually I've seen the lack of confidence between the stakeholders, especially when they see that there are many stalled project what has been done maybe previously in that company, and they have seen that they did not have the proper clarity how to reach to the destination or how to close it. So how this lack of confidence can lead to a stall project, or they might need a extra clarity which was not given at that point of time. So this is one of the big thing. And also what I understand that we have to, like, as a business owner, we have to secure buy in from all the stakeholders before implementing a project. So we have to talk to each of the stakeholders, especially the business stakeholders, and also you need to talk to the kind of like finance stakeholder and also the internal stakeholder who are dealing with that kind of like everyday process, because this process would be digitized, this process would be converted to some service level agreement between the business and also IT and also technology stakeholder. So there comes a securing buying. That means we have to take a buying of all the stakeholders which are actually in part of the process. And finally, I would say this is very important for every organization, ensuring the money you spend goes to the areas that matters most. Because if you do not allocate the right money to the right space or right area or right areas where that matters most, sometimes it goes to the area which is like some people have some idea on IT, or maybe some flashy idea of technology. that can be done. So my point is like, obviously we have to do uh, the thing that is required for implementing a proper ERP management. So I had 4 points today. The first thing is like, we have to bring everybody onto the same page, because there is a conflicting requirements, conflicting needs between the business stakeholders and also technology. And then obviously one of the thing which is like clarity, you might not be, or some people might not have the proper clarity or proper understanding how this project is going to close. So that is something that clarity has to be provided. And also we need to talk to each of the stakeholders and getting their buying in, because we have to secure their buying in to especially to all the stakeholders before even thinking about the project. That means we have to take everybody on board. I understand ERP, you don't, so this cannot happen. So we have to have the same alignment, on the same page. And finally, obviously, we have to ensure the money is being spent in the areas where this matters most. So this is where I believe that is very difficult on the understanding that how an ERP system can be implemented.